Alright, so I have not done one of these in a while. A Fast and Furious review, that is. The last one I did was like a few months ago, around June, July, maybe August. But yes, we are in my car. I said the next review would be in my car. It is. And I'll be honest with you, because it's been so long since I did my last Fast and Furious review, I've actually already got my license. I've already driven around quite a bit. I'm on my L's, that's for Australia. I don't know what it's like over in America, but here in Australia we have L's, red P's and green P's. I am on my L's. And that's really what these Fast and Furious movies have been about. Like, obviously reviewing the movies themselves, but also going on this like sort of journey with you guys as I get my license, which I now have, but I haven't got my full license. So I still have to drive around with my dad, who is my designated driver. So that's been fun. He's not in the car at the moment. I'm here by myself. I'm not even driving. So yeah, in the next video for Fast 5, I will be driving. But anyway, regardless of that, let's get into my thoughts on Fast and Furious 4, which is just titled Fast and Furious. The first thing that I immediately noticed when rewatching this, because it's been a while since I've seen this movie came out in 2009, I'm pretty sure. I was 10. I don't remember much of this movie. That was like the last time I saw it, I guess, around the time that it came out. And I watched it again recently for this review, and man, the first thing I noticed was that it's got a bigger budget. The action scenes are far bigger. You sit back and you're like, whoa, this movie's got some balls now. This franchise has some shit going on. And I like that. I like that this movie, well, this is one of the first Fast and Furious movies that goes all out, unlike the first 3. And I will just put this out there now. I like this one considerably more than the last 2. The first Fast and Furious movie will always be one of my 2 favorites, but this one I liked a lot more than Too Fast, Too Furious and Tokyo Drift, simply because it's just a much better film overall. I mean, you've got Brian, Dom, and Mia back, who were pivotal characters from the very first one, and Too Fast, Too Furious was missing Dominic Toretto. Tokyo Drift had none of them in it, except for like one cameo. So I like that this movie brings a lot of the main cast from the very first movie back. It made it feel more like a Fast and Furious movie. And a lot of people have said this about the 5th one, that one is where they found their niche, I guess you could say. They found the thing that makes the Fast and Furious movies good. They took it in a new direction, and they kind of got back on track with what Fast and Furious is sort of meant to be. I would argue Fast 5 is good. Okay, it's a good movie, and it's one of my 2 favorites, that being the first one and the 5th one. But I would argue that this 4th one is where the franchise found its footing, where it got back on track and did something a little new by having a bigger budget and going more over the top. So yeah, I still like this movie. I don't love it. I mean, it's not my favorite. It's not great. It's not great. There's a lot of, I guess you could say, boring parts. It's not as enthralling as the 5th one, which we're getting so close to that movie. I cannot wait to talk about the 5th one. But let's stay on this movie. Let's stay on Fast and Furious. It's an alright movie, okay? I definitely like it. It's got a much more dramatic story than, say, the 3rd one. It's a piece of fucking garbage. Letty dies. So, in that, our characters are pushed to do things that they wouldn't be their first option. So I guess if you're to take anything away from my review of this movie, it's that I like this movie simply because it is, to me, where the franchise found its footing and found its niche, but it also takes it back to what we got with the first movie by bringing a lot of the characters back, having a much better story than the last 2. I'd say so. And holy shit, Wonder Woman's in this movie. I totally forgot that Gal Gadot was in this movie. Anyway, I guess that's all my thoughts on this movie. I know it's been a short video, but there's really not that much else I can say about the movie. I mean, as I said, the action is more entertaining, way better filmed and handled than the last three, I guess, because of, obviously, it's got a bigger budget. You can tell from the first scene. But other than everything else I've just said, there's really nothing else for me to say, because it isn't my favorite, but it's still good enough to like it. I like this movie. I can't help it. It's not a bad movie at all. So I guess with that said, I will see you in my review for Fast 5. I've been a bit lazy with these Fast and Furious reviews, so I'm going to try and pump out the rest of them before Fast and Furious 9 comes out in 2020. So, which is, 2020 is like around the corner. So I guess I'll see you in my next Fast and Furious review.